His son wore a T-shirt with the words, "My daddy, my hero." Thousands of people lined the streets of Bury to remember the murdered soldier Lee Rigby as his family joined mourners at a funeral service, replayed by loudspeaker to the crowds outside. Our North of England correspondent, Kieran Jenkins, is in Bury now. Kieran.
Well, the pavements of Bury were absolutely packed today with well-wishers, but the phrase I kept hearing was, "This could happen again," especially from servicemen and servicewomen. Even as they came to pay their respects to Fusilier Lee Rigby, they were saying there was some resignation that this may not be the last attack on British soil, and so it may have proved. And all this after Lee Rigby's family, who showed great dignity today and were again overcome with emotion, had said they hoped his death would unite this country. The applause swelled as Lee Rigby's family arrived. His mother, Lynn, was moved to tears. They came, they said, to honour their hero, his son Jack, bidding his father farewell at just 2 years old. Thousands lined the streets of Bury. The Prime Minister too came to remember. Lee Rigby, a machine gunner and drummer in the 2nd Battalion Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. A 25-year-old soldier hacked to death on British soil.
He no longer lives to the beat of that drum. He has been separated from his future and all the potential and possibilities that were there.
He was, his commanding officer said, held in the highest regard.
Lee had a natural swagger and the confidence of someone truly comfortable in their own skin. He was always happy. His smile was infectious, as was his enthusiasm for soldiering and his passion for life.
His mum and stepfather recalled a house full of laughter and a young man who considered his mother his best friend.
He always looked after me. He was always loving and watch out for me, you know, and he was so loving. Do anything for anybody. He had an heart of gold. He wouldn't hurt anybody.
Public support, his widow says, has been overwhelming as she begins to raise their young son, Jack, alone.
They should be proud of his dad. His dad hadn't done anything for him. And out of anybody, Lee loved Jack more than anybody in the world. He really did. Jack meant everything to him.
But what words can be said to a 2-year-old to possibly make sense of this? On his T-shirt, his own words, "My daddy, my hero." But this was a celebration of Lee Rigby's life as well. Servicemen, young and old, filling the streets. Each one of them mindful of the brutality of this act and the tensions it exposed.
I wear my uniform with pride. I like to think, yeah, this is my career. I may well be in the cadets, I will be in the RAF one day, and I wear my British uniform with pride.
It could happen again, but by and large, soldiers look after themselves. And they've got the police force, and they've got other security services. We just hope they work next time.
There were cheers and flowers thrown as the cortege passed through, but now the private grief of his family begins.